this is a description of the way your site is laid out. You've already seen how to add questions to the discussion pages, and you will recall that they were added as posts to your website. The main pages on your website, these that are underneath the menu items, are all individual pages as opposed to posts. And the difference is a page is static, it cannot change, it doesn't necessarily have comments added onto it by visitors to your site, and it doesn't work like your discussion pages where people add comments and they automatically get updated. A page basically is information that you put up there once and not really forget about, but it's a fixed page and isn't going to change. You can add new pages to your site as and when you want, and this video will show you how to do that, but it also will show you how to edit or delete existing pages as a consequence of what we're going to do, and that also applies to any existing pages up here. You can come into the site and edit them as you wish. So if we go over to your dashboard, I've logged in and I'm at the dashboard, and on the left hand side this was the posts area which we clicked to add discussion items to your page, your website, and if you look further down we have pages. You can, with all of these, use the drop down arrow to bring up more options. So under pages, for example, you have pages and add new, but for example under posts we've got posts, add new, add post tags and categories. This may get a bit cluttered if you open them all up, so you can just go down and close them all. So I could open that, but I'm just going to click pages. And this comes up with the list of pages on your website. And as you increase to beyond the small number, you may find that there's an option here to go to page 2 of all the pages to see the ones you haven't seen. But we're going to add a new page, so we could either use the add new button here or use the add new button here. Your choice, makes no difference. Here we are on the add new page, and it looks remarkably similar to adding the posts page, but if you quickly look down the side you'll see there's no option to adjust whether people can leave comments or not, and that's one of the differences between a page and a post. Just to recap, a page is a static page, a fixed page, something that you put up there and leave for a period of time, and you don't expect to go and edit it or change it. So starting at the top, we need to enter a title. And we need to add content. At the moment you've only got a very small number of options up here to add content, but if you have a look on the page, this one here, if you hover over it, it comes up with show, hide, kitchen sink, and that's exactly what it means. If you click it, it'll come up with more options, and we really want to be able to see those extra options. And in here we put the content. You can type it in this page or you can copy it from somewhere else, it's up to you. So I'm just going to write a bit of content and then show you how to edit it. Okay, I've got some test content on here, just a couple of lines, but as for a normal editor, for example a word processor, you can make some changes so that it stands out or makes it clearer on the page. So test page is going to be the title of my page, but I might want to a second title actually on the page. So I can highlight the words using my mouse and change them to something different, like heading 1 or heading 2. And you can see that their relative sizes indicate the importance that they might have on the page. I'm going to use heading 2. I would try not to use heading 1. Heading 1 tends to refer to the actual title of the page, and it's better to start with heading 2. But I've got a subheading here, so I'm going to make that a heading 3, and then this is just content. I might want to add a quote from Vicky at the end, so I could add that now. So I've added a quick sentence that Vicky might have said at the bottom of a bit of content. So again, I highlight it, and I just go up to here to the quotation. It says block quote, click it, it moves it over, and that could be my page. The only other thing you might want to do is put on an image on this page, and so what I could do is just do this, go down a line, and then up here I can see a button, add an image. I'd click it, once that page has come up, I can go select files, and it brings up a browser from my own computer to see where there's stuff I might want to upload. So navigate to where you've got your image saved, click the image, click open, software uploads it, you have to wait for it to finish, once it's finished uploading, I would recommend you give it a proper title, something that relates to your website, say sewing or training or something like that. And then down at the bottom we need to choose where to put our image. Now most of the images on your site are located to the right hand side of the page. So under the alignment we select right, and then underneath we want to select the size of the image, and the options available to you will depend on how big an image was when you uploaded it, but I would recommend that you pick one of the choices which keeps it at about 300 pixels wide, and you can see that that is actually selected. If I wanted a smaller one I'd select that one, but I actually want the medium one, and then just click insert into post. And there you are, you can see it's inserted my post, it's put the image to the right hand side of the page, and the rest of the text is running around it. Lastly, with the page you need to just roll down and make sure that you have made a choice on your discussion. Now on the posts we made comments available. On this type of page I suspect you won't want comments available. So that is really all you have to do, apart from click publish. Similar to the post page, you get an information up here that says page published, and you can go and view it. But the next important thing I want you to notice is what or how you access that page. So we'll go back to your site, and I'm going to press either F5 on your keyboard or refresh on the browser. Depending on where your browser is will depend on where that button is for refreshing the page. And you'll see it's made a bit of a mess of where it's put it on the menu bar. It's just plonked it under there. And I've written a page that I want perhaps to become one of the an extra under sewing hints and tips. So we've got 4 here, and I want it to be under here, but at the moment it's just positioned itself there. So we need to go back to your admin site and go down to Appearance and press the down arrow, and we need to go to Menus. Once that's loaded, on the right hand side you can see the layout of the main menus. So we've got, if I go back to your website, we've got Home, Sewing Hints and Tips and Learn to Sew as the first 3, and you can see those: Home, Sewing Hints and Tips, and then down here Learn to Sew. You can see underneath 4 indented menu items, and if you go back to your own website you'll see that those are those 4 under there, and they are the sub pages of the Sewing Hints and Tips. When you add a new page, it will always be added at the bottom, and you can see it here, and you can see as I hover over it my cursor changes to some cross arrows, and what that means is I can actually hover over it, click down with my left mouse button, keep my finger on the button, and I can now move this around. If you get to the top of the page will actually scroll down for you. And I want it as another indented menu item underneath Sewing Hints and Tips. So I can come to underneath Sewing Hints and Tips, and if I'm not careful, if I come to the bottom, it'll put it to the left hand side, and you can see the box behind showing where it's going to go. But I don't want it there, so if I move it to the left slightly, you'll see the background box has just moved to the right slightly, and I can drop it there. So now you can see there's now 5 there, but I need to save the changes. Now you might be in the middle of the page like that and you won't see Save Menu. You'll either find it at the bottom or at the top. Doesn't matter which one you click Save Menu. Once you've saved the menu, you'll see that the option up here, the main menu has been updated, will come up. And just to prove that's worked, we can go back to your web page, and if just to remind you, you either press F5 or refresh page to get the page to update. And you'll see that that test has disappeared, and under here is test page, and I can click it. I could have clicked it earlier on, but if we click it now, and here we are. This box here will not display for anybody that is not logged in to your website. This is here purely because you're an administrator and you're logged into the website. There's the H2 page line, there's the H3 line, this is the content I wrote, and here is the image that we put in, and there's the box with Vicky's quotation. Now back at the dashboard, if we go to the Pages area, regardless of what page it is, if I come down to test page and hover over its name, you can see pops up underneath edit, quick edit, trash or view. Now obviously I don't want the test page to stay on your site, as it's just a load of rubbish. So I could either edit it and go back, change its title, change the content, but in this case I want to click trash. The good thing about clicking trash is that it takes it away from your site, but it doesn't take it away from your database. It is actually still there for you to reactivate, if you wish, in the future. So if I roll down the page now, it doesn't appear here. However, if I click trash, we can see some pages I've created before, and there's test page, which we could click restore, and that would put it back where it is. However, if I click menus again, you will see that the menu item test page is still there, despite the fact that we have deleted the page. And so if someone clicked on the menu item on your website test page, they'd get a warning saying this page is not available, and that's just messy. So what we need to do is pull down this arrow here and click remove. We've removed it from our screen here, but if you remember rightly, we either have to roll up or down the page to click Save Menu. Once we get the response, the main menu has been updated. If we go back to our website, if we go to the home page and we look for the menu item under here, it's gone. So just a quick recap. If we go back to Pages, get our list of pages, and we can choose any of the pages and edit them or delete them, or of course see them. This same system applies on the post pages, where you put your questions and wanted people to discuss. You can delete those as well, and ultimately just a reminder that you should click log out at the end of your session.